Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It's the Uncensored match build-up show for Liverpool versus Everton at Anfield in the Derby on Sunday. It's the newest, next best, biggest game of the season. I'm Chris Pajak, that's Adam Rowe. He's a comedian. And we've got John Machin over there as well. Who is not a comedian. He's just Paul's dad.
Yeah.
And literally everybody's favourite.
Yeah, absolutely. I want a bit of consistency, you know what I mean? Okay. That's how you introduced the last show.
Everybody's favourite, not everybody's favourite, Chris. Yeah, with us? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, sound. Yeah. Let's get into it. Liverpool versus Everton. I nearly lost my bowels about 15 seconds before we started the show, just thinking about it. I was at 24 hours, I was okay. Liverpool had smashed Spartak 7-0. It was all great. I was loving it. I've got to focus on the derby. My brothers are blue. I ate these. I've got derby belly. I feel sick.
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Odd. Odd is the word, because on paper, this is the easiest derby in years. On paper. You know, Everton are in the worst form they have been for a decade. Obviously, they've won back-to-back games, but going on the season as a whole, Liverpool are flying at the minute, scoring goals for full, 15 goals in the last 3 games. It's 12 in the last 2. We should be feeling confident, but that's, if there's anything being a Liverpool fan teaches you, it's when you're confident things go wrong, and when you're seen as the underdog things go right. So I'm feeling odd. I'm confident we'll win, but that confidence ruins me confidence.
John,
you know what I mean? Catch 22.
You've grown up in a different era of a Liverpool fan as we have. You're used to Liverpool, or you were at least used to Liverpool being the best side in the country and beating the teams who are worse than us. We're the generation who see the plucky underdog as Liverpool. That's not yours.
No. But I'm the one who grew up where derbies were always close. And I've seen in the last few years that they've not been close particularly. I remember under Rodgers we battered them at Anfield, and that seems to be, you go into derbies now expecting we are going to walk all over them. I mean, no more so now than after that 7-0 the other night. So, excuse me. Why am I feeling a bit nervous about it? It's just strange, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
Is it the big Sam effect?
Sam Allardyce has clearly got something to do with it.
It is though, isn't it?
The fact that he can't be bothered to send a team or himself to play their last European game, he'd rather concentrate on the derby. It sums him up completely. He is a bit innovative, Sam. He likes to do things a little bit differently, as long as he keeps everything tight. It's the new manager effect, and you know, there's all sorts of things going on which should make us this could be a banana skin, couldn't it? You know, hopefully it won't be. We'll be 4-0 up by half time, and we'll all go home happy. But you know, in the back of your head, there's still that, you know.
There's a lot riding on this game for me.
Yeah.
I'll be brutally honest. We know that we ruined their Christmas last year. This is their chance to ruin my birthday. My birthday,
on your birthday?
It's Derby Day, is my birthday. I couldn't think of a worse game. I mean, it's both sides of the coin, isn't it? I get the utter ecstasy of beating Everton on my derby, but the fear of just ruining my birthday, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it shouldn't be about me, but it's my birthday. And it's going to be about, no, it's not. It's going to be about Liverpool beating Everton, and that's the most important thing on Sunday.
Yeah.
But again, we'll talk about it later on, the Sam Allardyce stuff. As far as Liverpool's week goes, Adam, 1 down, 1 to go. It was a big week coming in. We've obviously, part of the job's done with Spartak Moscow at Anfield. We've got another game at Anfield. Everton's young kids have travelled over to Limassol, had a little bit of a party without the boss there. They've had Craig Shakespeare looking after them, and Duncan Ferguson. That'll have gone really well for them by the time you've watched this, I'm sure. Nightlife's supposed to be decent in Cyprus, so Big Dunk will be able to show them the way, I'm sure. I think Sam Allardyce has probably been very clever not to get himself involved in the nightlife over there, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But it's going to be a tough game against this Everton side, because they're not that far away from the European spots. Whatever you think, a week ago they were relegation fodder if you speak to Everton fans, and I do, because we speak to Toffee TV, we brothers are blue, as I've already mentioned. It was never as bad as it seemed. The football was terrible for them, but they've got good players and they've now got a manager who can get results.
Yeah, they have. I don't think they were ever going to go down. As soon as they got a manager in, they were always going to... They've got... I hate the phrase, they're too good to go down. The individual players, you know... I don't think they were ever relegation fodder, really. I still think we should be comfortably winning this game. I don't think they're good enough.
I mean, the thing about Everton now is, for the first time in ages, they'll be really competitive. And I think that's the Allardyce effect.
Are you thinking back to, like, are you talking about dogs of war competitive, as in physical during games?
Yeah, also, but also organised, well organised, and you know, probably difficult to beat. Whereas I've gone into derbies recently, and I've not worried about Everton at all. You know,
when they were trying to play us at our own game, we were always, and listen, we've tried this with teams, and there are teams that have been better at this than us, no disrespect, but when Everton were playing tiki-taka with Rodgers' side were better than them. You have to go about it and try and get a win a different way, don't you?
Yeah, and you know, Sam Allardyce is a past master, isn't he, at coming, closing things down, and then trying to hit you late on in games. You know, I mean, we've shown signs recently that we're able to break down teams who do that. So that's what I'm hoping for, that our forwards are too fast and too tricky, even if he does park 2 buses. And
what about the front four, Adam? Everton going to be able to compete if Mane, Salah, Coutinho, Firmino all play together?
No. I don't like...
You look at their defenders. I mean, Keane, if he's fit, is probably the only one who's got any legs.
Yeah, Williams.
You know, where there's no pace there at all.
The only way we don't walk all over them, as far as I'm concerned, is if they really brilliantly park 2 buses. Like, I know we've recently come up against teams who have sat back, and last season we were drawing those games. We were maybe losing one on the break, 1-0. Maybe we'd sneak a 1-0 late on. This season we do seem to have turned the corner recently with it, and we are breaking those teams down eventually. But an Allardyce team, you know, he is a joke. He's a joke of a manager. I don't think Everton should have ever gone near him. I think it's quite embarrassing for them to have turned to that, especially after what he was involved with the scandal with England and all that. But if he will set them up defensively sound, and there's only so much you can do to break a team down. If they don't move, you can't get through it. But then we've got the Salah and Coutinho who can score from 25 yards. I think we'll find a way. And as soon as we go 1-0 up, they've got to play football then. And I think that's when.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm confident because Liverpool's attacking play has just been so full of energy, so direct and so skillful in the 1-2s. I don't think that Everton will be able to deal with it. But again, I'm not confident in that it is just ultimately the derby. And I hate to say it, but the form goes out the window in these type of games because it's true. And unfortunately, that's the way it is. Everton and their fans, I'd guess, would be shitting themselves though, John.
Yeah, unless they're dead, yeah. That's the only other way they wouldn't be, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think any team would be looking at our forward line. But at the same time, I think Allardyce will give them a kind of belief that they need to take into a derby. And there will be some of their team who will be really committed because it's a derby. You know, they've got the young lads. You know, they've got Scousers in their team.
They've got Rooney back as well.
Yeah, they've got Rooney back.
He is a Scouse Everton fan. He spent a long time at United, but
yeah. So you know they'll know what the derby's about, and they'll put a lot on the line. I think.
Yeah, Ferguson and Unsworth will be talking to all the players. I think equally for us, I'd like Gerrard to get in there, give him a little bit of a word about how important this is. Maybe get Carragher, if he's covering the game, to get in the dressing room, have a little word with the players about how important this is for everybody involved. Something that came out of, I think it was one of Klopp's post-match press conferences, Paul Joyce reporting it. Klopp has said that Jordan Henderson will start. Adam, I'll come to you because you're not a massive Henderson fan.
I'm not, but I used to be. I'm paying so much more attention to him now, and I think he weakens the side when he comes into it. I just do. And I'm not going to lump hate on him. I'm not one of those fans who's going to start tweeting him, get the fuck out of our club and stuff like that. Because I do think he cares. I do think he wants to be a success at Liverpool. I just don't think he's good enough to be a success at Liverpool. I think we've got so many more players who play his roles better than him. I don't think he's a 6, which we were talking about last time I was here. I don't think we've got a 6 at the club. I think Chan is a better false 6, to borrow the term false 9. I think he's a better false 6. I think Henderson's at his best as one of the 8s, and I think we've got 4 players who are better already, and that's without Naby Keita coming in and playing the 8 role. So, for me, I wouldn't start Henderson in this game, but, you know, he's the club captain, so you can't really have a go at Klopp for going, well, we're going to play the captain. He didn't play midweek, we've saved him for this. As soon as I seen the team last night, I knew Henderson was going to start the derby, unless he was injured. Yeah, it wouldn't be my choice, but I get it.
I can't see that the drop off is going to be massive. Like, don't get me wrong, I was enthralled with the performance of Wijnaldum and Chan last night, but I just don't see that there's that much difference between dropping one in and one out. And people will probably point to the goals and stuff like that. I think Wijnaldum's the best out of the 3 of them. If I'm perfect, I think he's the better of the 3 midfielders at the moment.
I mean, I don't think Henderson's a very good defensive midfield player. I don't think we've got a really good one. I think Henderson is better further up the pitch. But what I like about him is you need a bits and pieces player, someone who will take a ball off someone and lay it off to someone else. You know, put a lot of energy into supporting players, not doing the spectacular stuff. Just the, as I say, the bits and pieces stuff. You need that. Gini Wijnaldum is brilliant at that. But I think Henderson's okay as well. I'm not a lover of him as captain. I don't think he's a great captain. No. But I do think he's underrated by a lot of, you know, when I say that, I don't mean I think he's a world superstar, but I think he's maligned a little bit too much for what he offers.
Just to pick it up on that, that used to be my argument. Because I've got a mate called Danny who has hated Henderson since he signed for the club. And I used to defend Henderson and go, look at the energy he brings. And especially in that 13-14 campaign, he was pivotal. He really was. Like, I said this last time, he used to be really good at that role. That Firmino plays one line further up, which is running back towards your own goal and taking a ball off someone and then breaking with it. And I don't see him doing it anymore. I've watched him in recent games and people are walking past him and he's watching them walk towards the next line. He's watching them walk past him towards Lovren. 3 years ago, he was chasing that and taking the ball off him, and I don't see him doing that anymore.
I do think the injuries have had an effect on him.
They have, and that's why I'm not defending him anymore, and I've sort of gone, I don't think he's good enough, because he's lost what made me respect and like him as a Liverpool football player.
I think that, listen, I don't think... Well, we'll come on to the preferred 11s in a short while, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about him then. I don't think he's the worst player that's ever pulled on a Liverpool shirt. I don't really think it matters who the captain is at Liverpool Football Club, as much as most people would disagree with me, and they're probably screaming at the laptops and the phones now. I challenge anybody to name me Arsenal's captain right now.
Yeah, but we can't hold ourselves to the standards of Arsenal.
Who's Man United's? Who's Manchester City's? Okay, right. So it's Vincent Kompany if he's fit. Yeah. It's Per Mertesacker who doesn't get in Arsenal's first 11, and it's Michael Carrick who's the club captain of Manchester United who doesn't get in their first 11. So
yeah, but I don't care about those clubs.
No, and I get it. But what I'm saying is the club captain doesn't need to start every game. He doesn't need to be the best player at the football club. We've been dead lucky for 20 years that we've had Steven Gerrard, who happened to be both. Yeah. It doesn't matter. If he's good for the dressing room, that's what matters as far as a club captain. But we can't say that because no one's got a fucking clue, Adam. Yeah,
but you've got to... If he was good in the dressing room, he'd be a proper leader on the pitch as well.
That's not necessarily true at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we miss his leadership on the pitch. It's difficult to spot, but it is there if you do. But it's become a stick to beat him up with, hasn't it, the captaincy? Yeah. People beat him up because he's the captain, because they don't want him to be the captain. They don't think he's good enough. And as you say, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you could chuck the captaincy off him, it wouldn't make any difference to our team whatsoever.
Klopp talked about it last night after the Spartak game, and me and Paul were talking on the way home from the match about what a masterstroke of man management to give Phil Coutinho the captaincy. Did you see what Klopp said?
Yeah,
he Googled who was the longest serving player.
Yeah, that's
right. He
right.
fucking Googled him. and found out it was Phil Coutinho and gave him the armband, by the way. That's how much Klopp puts into the captaincy at Liverpool. Right?
Yeah.
He Googled it. He Googled it. That's amazing, like. I'm sorry, that's amazing. That just shows you how heads don't need to roll over the captaincy at Liverpool Football Club because Klopp doesn't give a damn about it.
Yeah.
I still do, even if he doesn't.
No, that's fine.
Do you know what I mean? I want to see it. I want to see Gomez there in
the future.
In the future.
Anyway, it's a big game. We'll get into the preferred 11s right now. So get them ready to turn them round. Make sure these are your preferred 11s, not the ones that you think Klopp will do.
Okay.
So we'll start, and we're out. We're all out. John, talk us through your side and why you've gone for it. And just turn it to the camera a little bit more, please.
Some of it is thoughts on injuries. I don't think Moreno will be fit. I've heard Lovren's a bit dodgy. I want to see Gomez playing centre-back, and Trent, obviously, it's his turn to be right back anyway. So, I think him and Gomez, I'm really looking forward to seeing that more often, to be honest. In midfield, I think you can pair any two of the more defensive-minded players. Henderson's going to get a turn because he didn't play against Spartak. Yeah. I really want to see the other four again: Coutinho, Salah, Firmino, and Mane.
Why wouldn't you?
That's what I want, and I actually think Klopp may well say, if they're fit, let's go with these guys again.
Yeah, and yourself then, Adam? I love the fact that you've gone with the footy manager lines there, and it's exactly what Mane's job is.
Yeah, well, literally, I've gone with the same front six from last night because I wouldn't change that. I think Klopp will. I wouldn't. So I'd go the same, like we were saying in the last show. It's a 4-4-2 and it becomes a 4-3-3 when we want it to be. So that's what I'd have. I'm working under the assumption that Moreno's injured and is going to miss the game. I'd have Robertson left back.
Okay.
I think he was brought in because we weren't going to play Milner at left back anymore, so I think he should play. I think he's been good every time he played. He didn't have much to do against Brighton. He didn't light the game up, but what he had to do, he did well. I've got Gomez and Matip. That would, at the minute, would be my centre-half pairing for Liverpool. As long as they're both fit and ready to play, that would be it. Trent on the right, and I'd keep Mignolet in goal as well.
Okay. I've gone same formation as last night as well, so I've gone 4-4-2. I've put exactly the same midfield and forward line in as we saw last night. In fact, I've played the exact same side by the goalkeeper and the left back because I think Moreno's going to come out. I think Milner drops in, and I've just changed the goalkeeper. I just want to see a 7-0 performance, to be honest, and that's why I've gone for my preferred 11 in that way. So we'll move on then. I won't do what I think Klopp will do because that will ruin the starting 11 prediction. Yeah. But if you two want to give us what you think Jurgen Klopp will do, then
I think he'll do exactly what I've said. Because me and Jurgen are like that, you know.
This is my one, and it's going to seem. I think there'll be one surprise for someone, I suppose. This is.
Ooh, Ox.
Yeah, like I think he didn't start against Brighton and he didn't start this game, and I think he will start. I really do. I think this will be the team. I
think Matip is a major doubt, just to let you know.
If Matip's fit, I think he plays. If Matip's not fit, that'll be Klavan.
Okay.
So if Matip's out of the game, I would predict that'll be Klavan in there alongside Lovren again. I don't think he's ready. I don't know why, but I don't think he's going to put Gomez in yet. I don't think Klopp sees that as the next move. I think Gomez will play again.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Trent. So the back four is basically what we ended up with last night after Moreno went off. I think that's what we'll see. Milner did a great job in the second, 3 assists, but that would be Robertson for me. I don't think it will be for Klopp for some reason. As we've said, Henderson's been told he's coming back into the team. I think it'll be Gini who plays. He's good at home and he had a good game last night. And I think, obviously, Chan is in Klopp's eyes one of the 6. So I think it'll be Gini and Coutinho. Salah will play. I think he's still game managing Mane. So I'd imagine if one of the wingers comes out to let Ox come in, it will be Mane.
I keep forgetting about Ox.
Yeah.
It's mad how good the squad we've got at the moment, isn't it?
And I think if he starts to the up front, my mind will be blown. Okay. I think it'll be Firmino.
Okay, actually want to ask a question. If there's any Everton fans who've stuck it out this far into the video, thank you very much first and foremost. What are your feelings on this? I'd actually like some proper conversation about it in the comments section, if that's cool. I want to know what you think of Liverpool's performances over the last few weeks, how you think the derby will go, and whether Everton can win this game. Because I think it feels from my side like everybody I've seen Everton fans on Twitter who I've spoken to very much this could be one of the worst derbies for them in years. But I go back to what Baz from Toffee TV said about 2-3 years ago maybe. We had a hoodoo over them in a red kit, and he said the next time we win an Anfield will be when we change the colour of our kits and we change the shade of red this season. Yeah. And this was like 3 years ago he said that. So I think that's one of the reasons that I'm nervous as well, because he knows his footy, does Baz from Toffee TV. Like,
he knows his curses.
Exactly. They, you know, he scribbles them on his bedroom wall every night before bed.
My mate tweeted last night to the Premier League and just said, can we just call the derby 3-0 to Liverpool and just move on from that? You know, like you're playing FIFA and you quit, so you automatically get a 3-0 loss.
Rage quit.
Yeah, that's what the Blues are after, I think.
Well, hopefully, Liverpool get a massive result against Everton, and then there's 8,000 of them coming for the FA Cup third round. Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine. I'd love it if there was just 8,000 dead disappointed Blues in the FA Cup as well.
I have to say that one of the things that spoils derbies for me these days is how few away fans get to get in the ground. Derby games used to be fantastic. They used to be at Anfield. You'd even see Blues in the Kop. And I went to all the derbies at Goodison. Now you can't get a ticket. I mean, and they're not the same. So I'm looking forward to the cup tie more than this one, because there will be a lot more Everton fans in.
The atmosphere should be absolutely incredible in that one, because I remember just a year ago, like Exeter, you know, they come and they had 8,000 fans, and the singing from them was unbelievable. Now to see 8,000 Everton fans in Anfield, they're going to bring some noise, because listen, they're good fans. Everybody knows about the rivalry. We don't need to talk about it. We've spoken about it already. I can't wait for the game of the weekend. One final thing before we go then. Score predictions. Adam, what do you think it's going to be at the weekend?
4-0.
Wow. John?
3-0.
I think it's going to be 2-1 to Liverpool.
Ooh, tight.
I really do.
I'm grey enough as it is, Chris, without that.
I know.
I'll go further into my prediction. I think we'll be 2-0 up within 17 minutes.
That's a hell of a prediction.
Yeah, 2-0 up within 17, and I think 3-0 up by half-time. The fourth goal will come in the second half.
Any goal scorers for us?
I think if Hock starts, I think he'll score. I think Coutinho will score again, and 2 for Salah. Okay.
How many tackles are going to be made in the game?
37.
What time's the first corner?
Thank you very much for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to us on YouTube, hit that notification bell for more content from the Redmen TV delivered to your inbox. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Adam and John, for joining us.
Vole or Vole? Do we not need to do that?
No, we don't need to do that today. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're just gonna completely skip over that one because I'm trying to end the video to the best of my abilities.
I'm not going to be allowed
I'll see you next time on the Redmen TV.